Well, what a day over at ARN it has been. Welcome back to Biz Audio, everyone. My name's Max, and well, I think we've finally seen the full impact of the Kyle and Jackie O show's departure on the KISS network. We've seen the departure of three of the most recognizable names from the Kyle and Jackie O show team. I'll get into that in a second, but yeah, this came out early today on social media. So three of them have departed, and I don't know if there's any others. I just want to double check as well some of the details behind this, but I also know that there was Kiana Harvey, who was the first one to face redundancy. So basically this is 2, 4, and it's 2, 3, and 4. But Alfie, otherwise known as Alfie the Gronk, has announced his redundancy after joining the network in 2022 as a member of the street team. And in 2023, he was appointed to the content assistant role. One thing I want to note just here, he still works, from what I understand, he still works for King Kyle, or the King Kyle Media Corporation. So he still has a job for now, from what I understand. But so that's interesting to see there, the full effect of that. Dean Royston also has announced his departure. Known as Hulk on air, he came to the network in 2023 as an audio producer, and Eliza Brown joined the team in 2024 and served as an on-air content producer. She has also departed from the network. It is very sad when anyone in the radio industry gets made redundant, but I didn't think this would happen today. It's a very weird time to do it. And ARN did come out with a statement basically saying that they've basically tried to redeploy most of the team, whether it be the censors, the censors, that'll be an interesting one. I'll get to that soon. But they've redeployed basically intern Pete, from what I understand it. They've kept Brooklyn, they've kept Nat, they've put on Mikey, but technically what they're saying here is that they couldn't find a spot for these other three and a few others. So it's very sad to hear that, but look, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Of course, we had it was probably about almost 3 months ago now that they were taken off. Jackie O was off air, and then Kyle not long after. And the court case is still going on, but I think it was a weird time to do it. We just had the official confirmation that Kiss Brecky will be on air. Well, not official, but look, if you look at kiss.com.au, you can see the Kiss breakfast. It has all the imaging looking very fancy, and I think that that's a sign to say that it'll be permanent, or at least permanent for the next few months until they get something to replace it, whether it be the Chris Fade show, whether it be Carl Sanderland's returning. But it is a weird time to announce this. I also just wanted to mention one thing that I forgot to put in this week in radio. There is a brand new announcer, well, not an announcer, but someone who's returned to the Hit Network, and in particular Today FM. We have Workdays with Pez from, I believe it is 12 till 3 or 10 till 1. I will get that up right now. Give me 1 second. But yeah, it's great to see that he's returning to Workdays. 12 to 3. There we go. That's right. I was just pulling that up just as I started talking about it. Yes, so he's now up against Carl and Eddie on Fridays. Not that that means much, but yeah, so Pez, also known as Perry Lazarus, is back on air weekdays 12 to 3 on Today FM, and he's also continuing his operations role. So that's nice to see that Today FM is sort of getting back out there with because of course Mike Christian was the Workday announcer before he got made redundant or dismissed, and now he's over at KISS. He did the Summer Brecky show, but I'm not sure if he's still around. Possibly not. But I really wish that ARN had a good, strong holiday lineup. Like back when Carl and Jackie O first started on KISS, they had the Summer Fling, and then they carried that on with Sophie Monk and Maddie Acton for a few years, and then of course we had the what they call it, the Summer Slam most recently, and I think even Mitch Churi, when he was at the network, he might have done something interesting. Whether it be, I think it was Easter Brecky he did back when he was there, but I really wish they had a strong summer show, whether it be, I wish it was even just holiday show. Chris Page and Amy Gerard, I'm throwing it out there. That would be a really, really good show that I would think could one day even possibly be on Kiss Breakfast Monday to Friday. I'm putting it out there. Pagey, he's a long time on the radio, Triple M, and then of course you have Amy Gerard, who's a long time known in the podcast world, and Chris Page and Amy Gerard, of course, the weekend show. They've been doing it for about 2 years now. I had the honor of meeting only Amy. I didn't get to meet Chris when I was at KISS in December. But of course, I also did get to meet the other three that lost their jobs today, and I wish them all best of luck. Of course, the radio industry is going through a tough time at the moment. Not many jobs around, but hopefully that something does come around to those three, and I hope that Alfie does get to continue working with King Kyle, because I know that they do have a pretty good relationship. From what I've heard, they are very good friends on air.